Greetings. Today is March the 18th, 2023. My name is Brother Leroy Shabazz. I am an emergency management practitioner in the city of Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm doing a quick invitation, last minute invitation to men in Cincinnati, particularly black men in Cincinnati, to come out to a meeting tomorrow at New Prospect Baptist Church, which is at 1580 Summit Road. There will be a meeting tomorrow from 2 to 4 at New Prospect Baptist Church, Sunday the 19th, in reference to community disaster and emergency readiness. And it's very important that black men come out. I'm an emergency management practitioner. I am certified by the Ohio Emergency Management Agency to teach a course called CERT, Community Emergency Response Teams. And in light of all the things that are happening right now, it is very important for us to be prepared. And I'm particularly worried about a power grid failure in the future. Everything that I say in reference to potential things happening, you can go to a website that I have up. It's readyforwhatever.info, readyforwhatever.info. The number 4, ready, the number 4, whatever.info. And it's as soon as you get to the website, there'll be a video that you'll see right there. And you can just watch that video. It gives you some insight, particularly on why I'm worried about a cyber attack, which would create a power grid failure. Now, as an emergency management practitioner, out of the FEMA book, I'm told to teach that there are 3 types of disasters. There's natural disasters, technological disasters, and intentional or man-made disasters. You know what a natural disaster is by weather, most likely what that tends to be: earthquake, hurricane, blah, blah, blah. And a technological disaster would tend to be what happened with train derailments and chemical spills and things like that. And intentional or man-made disasters, when the book tells me to teach it, it teaches about war and terrorism. But as a black man, I always teach that white supremacy in America has been a really powerful form of intentional disasters for the black community. And as a student in the Nation of Islam, and again, if you go to the website that I just mentioned, you'll see a certificate that it's called IAS Independent Study Certificate 505, where it's a FEMA certificate that talks about cultural and religious, course that talks about cultural and religious differences. Because emergency management person should know about and respect cultural and religious differences. But as a student in the Nation of Islam, I teach that there's a 4th cause of disasters, and that 4th cause of disasters is divine intervention. Now, it's very important that black men understand divine intervention is a reality. Bible, Quran, God always steps into the affairs of a nation and deals with that nation. Particularly those of us that are black men need to understand that, because we are coming out of 400 years of a potential prophecy, if you believe that is us who have suffered for the 400 years, which I do. And I point that out. So we really need to understand what's going on with that. We really need to understand what we're doing, because there are people trying to hold us down, and there are things that we need to do to get up. If you come out, brothers, I am not trying to be your leader. I am not trying to be your guide. I am trying to give you some basic information that is going to help you to protect yourself and your family, because what's about to happen is really awesome. It's going to be terrible. So again, please come out to the meeting tomorrow. I'm going to make this a short video, so please come out to the meeting tomorrow, which is Sunday the 19th, 2 to 4 p.m. in New Prospect Baptist Church, 1580 Summit Road. I like to do the videos back here in this area because, again, when a nation goes through a divine judgment, right, there's always a remnant of people that come out of that nation that are judged. And that remnant of people, the first phase of the new nation is an agriculture phase. So back here in the next couple of videos, you'll probably see where we got the garden started, where we got chickens back here, where we got beehives further back. Because it's important that we start talking about that and teaching that to our children and grandchildren and letting them understand the reality of that. So please come out to the meeting. I've done meetings before, and I've done meetings where no one showed up in the past, and I got good information, but nobody wants to deal with it. Matter of fact, and you see in the video Ready for Whatever, that in 2018, I was telling people that the system is coming with shots to give us shots. And unfortunately, nobody came out to the meeting that we were having, or the event that we were having, to discuss that information. So I even got more deeper information relative to the fact that there's going to be a cyber attack and that grid is going to go down. And as an emergency management practitioner, let me just throw some stuff out there on a level that you can understand, but you need to understand. You know, the United States deals with a system called the National Incident Management System, and that system has 5 foundational categories. There's the category of prevention, protection, mitigation, response, and recovery. You know, and under those categories, there are 32 core capabilities that the United States are going to maintain, because the United States want to continue to have continuity of government. And there's nothing wrong with that. One of those core capabilities is under protection is the protection of the supply chain integrity and security. Supply chain integrity and security. Now, the United States government is going to maintain its best ability to keep the security of the supply chain and integrity of the supply chain. However, when things happen in the Black community, we are not necessarily going to be able to protect the supply chain that might be helping us to have food, water, things like that. Unless we start doing things now, the supply chain for us is going to be limited to the point where the system will say, well, we can't help everybody, and then there's going to be a choice of who can be helped. And the Black community really has no one to blame right now if we don't step up and do what we're supposed to do. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan told us in 2010 that we should not let our people go through the likes of what happened in Hurricane Katrina and the Haitian earthquake, and he told us to learn emergency management. So as a student in the Nation of Islam under the leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I am trying to do the best that I can to make sure that my community is disaster prepared for what's about to happen. And I need your help, brothers. It's not like I can do, because even though I say all of that, as a coordinator, I don't make stuff happen. I just try to, as an emergency management practitioner, I try to coordinate the resources. There are people out there that know more about gardens and things like that than I do, so I would like them to start coming to the meetings to become a part of this, so we can have gardens and agricultural resources in different places. We need to start reaching out to different communities. There are brothers, Farmer Brown, Farmer John Henry in Kentucky, Farmer Brown in Kentucky. There are other people that we need to reach to potentially have mutual aid agreements so that we can have supplies that are connected when we need them. For example, you know, when I took this recent training at the Ohio Emergency Management Agency headquarters in Columbus, right? One of the things that we were able to learn as the new emergency managers was how the National Guard works and how that process works. And when you deal with mutual aid agreements, there's a potential that you can have an agreement somewhere, and the National Guard, if necessary, if they're in the mix, will be able to make sure that your supplies get to you because you have arranged that process. Now, of course, as a Black man, I know things can fall apart. And if they do, then we have to go down to brass tacks of knuckles and whatever else you got to survive. But at this point in time, we should at least try as men, because I can't do a lot with a whole bunch of women. I'm going to do the best that I can, but damn, brothers, let's come on out and talk about this. So again, this is supposed to be a last-minute short video. Please come out Sunday, tomorrow, March the 19th, 2 to 4, New Prospect Baptist Church, 1580 Summit Road, from 2 to 4 again. We will be having a meeting on community, disaster, and emergency readiness, and it's very important for Black men to come out. That's all I have to say. Peace to you and your